Seahawks fans, Russell Wilson is expected to return. This is fantastic news in Seattle. Like this video if you guys are excited for Russ to return. We're going to get into all of the news, all of the information. We've got rumors news coming up in this video. Welcome into Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan Payton. The first, we've obviously got to touch on this. Russell Wilson is coming back for Week 10 against the Packers. There's more stuff to touch on today. We've got OBJ drama. We've got injury updates, but Russell Wilson is obviously the hot topic for today. He announced, or the Seahawks actually announced that he is cleared for full return in Week 10 against the Packers. He is expected to practice this week. His doctor, Dr. Steve Shin, he said he was absolutely amazed by Russ's recovery given the severity of the injury. I don't think we realized as fans how severe this injury was. Dr. Steve Shin put out onto, or the Seahawks posted this, but he said that essentially this was one of the most severe injuries that he had seen in a middle finger. And although this was an uncharted territory, I have also never encountered a player so committed to his therapy with so much conviction to return. So he pretty much goes on and on. You guys can read this, but how amazed he was at Russell's progress, the way that he wanted to rehab, wanted to get back, and now he is confidently clearing him for full return to play without reservation. So this is, guys, great news. We talked about just obviously the impact a star quarterback like Russell Wilson has on the Seahawks, and we know that the Seahawks are kind of in a must-win territory. They need to start winning if they want to compete in such a very competitive NFC West, NFC, kind of conference in general. This is great news. So I would like your guys' one-word reaction to Russell Wilson injury news. Go to the comments right now. Give me one word. My one word is going to be simple. I feel encouraged. This is encouraging news, guys. I'm not here to talk down on Geno Smith, but let's be honest. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback. Geno Smith, hey, while he came in, he had 3 game starts, and he also played, a little bit over a quarter in that 4th game, but 68.4 completion percentage. He had 702 yards. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and his performance wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. I think that, his confidence did start to grow. I think that the coaches started to trust in him a little bit more, but Russell Wilson is ultimately the guy you want behind center if you are trying to make the playoffs, and this is going to be huge as they take on the Green Bay Packers. We are going to get into more of this matchup this week, but this is going to be a toughie. And even if Aaron Rodgers is not back, which I expect him to be, it's going to be hard. Packers are sitting at 7-2. Seattle, we know, 3-5. We're going to get into odds later this week. But Jordan Love, hey, if he's going to be out there, I think the Seahawks have a much better chance because, let's be honest, he did not play that great against the Chiefs. He was at 19 of 34, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a QBR of 27.4. So I'm not saying Jordan Love's not going to improve if he does happen to play, but I think that the Seahawks should plan on Aaron Rodgers returning for this game. As we know, he tested positive for COVID-19. He missed last week's game against the Chiefs in Week 9. The earliest that he can return is Saturday, November 13th. The game is on Sunday. So even if he does get those negative results, which he has to get 2 within a 24-hour time span, if he gets those 2 negative tests, he can play, but he's going to be playing without practicing all week. So this, again, is positive for Seattle. Guys, Russell Wilson's back. Aaron Rodgers might not even be playing. Who do you guys think in this game? We've got Seahawks. We've got Packers. Who is going to win? Type SEA if you think the Seahawks are winning, and if you think Green Bay is going to come up on top, okay, fine. Type GB. I am going Seahawks. And another thing that I am doing, if I am you guys, is checking out BetUS. BetUS is the sports book that we use here at Chat Sports. If you guys want to bet on the Seahawks, now is the time to do it. Go to chatsports.com/bet. They are doing a great offer right now, 125% deposit bonus. If you put up $100, it's going to turn into $225. Put up more, get more money back. It's a great deal, a very well-trusted sports book. And by the way, if you are going to do this, you have to use code Seahawks125. So go to chatsports.com/bet, sign up Seahawks125. And by the way, if you guys are new to BetUS, make sure you email us jersey@chatsports.com. You are going to get a free jersey. You've got to show us that you went through these steps, put up a bet. You can choose between DK Metcalf or Russell Wilson. Now is the time. If you guys want a Russell Wilson jersey, go get it because they are running out quick here at Chat Sports. I just looked at the inventory. They are going away quickly, so make sure you check out this deal by BetUS. We're going to switch gears here and talk about Odell Beckham Jr. because free agency rumors do not stop. The Browns officially placed Odell Beckham on waivers Monday. This has been a very dramatic week for Odell Beckham Jr. and the Browns, as we know. A lot of drama going on with Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham. Odell's dad put up a video essentially saying, hey, these are the times my son was open and Baker did not target him. Well, the Browns end up cutting him. Now he's going to go through waivers so other teams can claim him, but they will be taking on his $7.25 million contract. They have to do this by Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, I really don't expect him to get claimed. So if he does go through waivers, he can then sign with any team if he clears this. And this is where I think the Seahawks may end up going for a guy like OBJ. If you look at what people are saying, USA Today came out with an article and they talked about Odell Beckham Jr. saying another potential suitor to keep an eye on is Seattle Seahawks. According to a person with knowledge of the situation, quarterback Russell Wilson has urged Seahawks brass for a Beckham signing, and in recent days, team officials have done extensive research on the wideout. And I am hearing that Odell Beckham Jr. prefers the Seahawks. Now, he has been rumored and tied to teams like the Saints, tied to teams like the 49ers. Now, if I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I'm looking at a team like the Seahawks and I'm going, hey, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is now returning. They're in a competitive division, but they are a playoff contending team, even with their, lower record right now. I think this is a good landing spot for Odell Beckham Jr., but he is going to have to share some of these reps with guys like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So for someone like OBJ, I wonder if that's an issue for him. But either way, I think the Seahawks would definitely have you signing him, and they have the money to do so. So if you want the Seahawks to sign OBJ, go ahead and give this video a like. I will like this because I like the Seahawks signing him. I think OBJ is well worth the drama, and he does come along with some drama, let's be honest, but guys, a lot of receivers do. This is very typical, and I do think that there were some internal issues there in Cleveland, a lot of stuff we probably don't know about, but I do think OBJ would help the Seahawks if they are going to be taking on an all-or-nothing approach. And yes, they've got guys like DK, they've got guys like Tyler Lockett, Freddie Swain, but you throw in OBJ, how is that going to hurt you? And by the way, we're talking receivers. Here's another positive note for you guys in Seattle. Eskridge is now designated to return off of IR. Now, he's no OBJ, but this is, again, just positive news for Seattle. I expect him to be back. He's got, 21 days now in order to come back and be activated on the 53-man roster. So I expect it either this Week 10 game or Week 11. Back to OBJ, though. So we talk about his performance at the Browns, and people are saying, hey, it's not been great. And then there's the argument of, well, is he not being targeted enough? But you look at what he did in New York, and it's obviously very impressive. 44 touchdowns over 59 games. His catch percentage there was 62.7. You compare these stats, look at them for yourself, but you compare these stats to what he did in Cleveland. Only 7 touchdowns over 29 games, catch percentage of 54.3. It obviously wasn't the same, and yes, that can be attributed to his age to some degree, but it also can be attributed to the quarterback in which you have, and I think that Baker and him did not click. We talked about this. That didn't happen. And so a guy like Russell Wilson and OBJ, it's a great duo. I do think that OBJ will have a little bit of a problem sharing targets between DK and Tyler Lockett. Guys with a lot of want to call it drama, want to call it whatever you'd like. They're going to have some pride issues sharing the ball. I think that we saw a little bit of this in Cleveland with him having to share the ball with Landry. I don't know if that will be a problem, but I think, hey, out of the teams that will be willing to pick up a guy like OBJ, I think Seattle might be the best fit for him. We're going to keep you updated, though, on all the OBJ drama. I think we'll know a lot more tomorrow. But if you guys are not subscribed to Seahawks channel, make sure you go click that big red button or go to youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Here on Seahawks Today, we keep you guys updated on all news, rumors, trades, and obviously we will keep you updated on OBJ. Let's talk a little bit more injuries, though. Chris Carson, who we know has been dealing with that lingering neck issue, and we talked about it on some of our older videos. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. But this is a kind of interesting situation where I think Pete Carroll is really taking it safe. He was eligible to be designated off of IR, but the Seahawks did not do so. Carson said he's going to try to practice, or Pete Carroll said he's going to try to practice this week, but his status is still unclear for this Week 10 game. I got to be honest, I don't expect him to be back. I think they are playing it safe. I think when you are dealing with a neck injury that could involve a spine, they are going to make sure he does not get injured worse. And you know what? You've got guys like Alex Collins. You've got guys like Rashad Penny, who needs to step it up a little bit. But DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, I think that they're going to be okay with Chris Carson, but this might just be another reason to bring in another receiver and kind of slow down on the run game and bring in a guy like OBJ until Chris Carson is going to return. We'll keep you guys updated on him. But how concerned are you guys for Chris Carson's injury? We're going to scale this 1 to 10. He might miss more time. That is a realistic option for Seattle. We don't know how severe this injury is, but let's just get our initial thoughts in. We're scaling this 1 to 10. If you're feeling not concerned at all, you can give this a 1. And if you are very concerned, give this a 10. I'm going to go ahead and just say a 5. I think that Alex Collins is going to, step up. He's going to be great. I think Rashad Penny, we will start to see more from him. Travis Homer, DJ Dallas, these guys are going to be able to help out Seattle. And now on the defensive side of things, Nigel Warrior, who you guys might have forgotten about because he has spent all season on IR. He is now designated to return. I don't know if he's going to really, take on that starting role, but just a good guy to have in the depth area with Trey Brown, DJ Reed. I think always some more help in the cornerback room is good. Guys, make sure you keep on posting, staying updated. We will keep you updated all season long.